Hello again, YouTube. Carl Belch here with another EDC gear review. Today we're taking a look at the Leatherman Juice S2 in orange. The Juice series is a series of pocket-sized Leatherman multi-tools that are smaller than something like a Wave or a Charge. As you can see here, it's quite a bit smaller than my Charge, both in length. It's about the same thickness, a little thinner, but it's also about half the weight. This comes in about 4.4 ounces. The Juice has anodized aluminum scales, which I like and I don't. They're very pretty looking, but as you can see, they get scratched up fairly easily. This is definitely a pocket carry tool. It doesn't come with a clip or a sheath, even though you can get a sheath from Leatherman for it. I feel this is a really good pocket-sized tool. It rides in the pocket like a knife really well. It does have outside accessible blades, just like a lot of the more budget options from Leatherman. They're not locking. This is a really nice 420 HC drop point plain edge blade. This is one of my favorite things about the Juice. It comes very sharp. However, a couple of the ones in the package, the grind wasn't exactly centered, so definitely make sure that you get one that has a grind that's exactly centered out of the package. You can see I've been using this knife EDC. I carried it for quite a while when one of my jobs wouldn't allow me to belt carry a knife or a multi-tool, and carried this one quite a bit, and even after quite a bit of use, the blade still is nice and sharp, and because it's 420 HC, it's nice and easy to sharpen. This tool overall is a little dinged up and dirty because it is a pocket carry, and those tend to get a little bit more dirty and bunged up because of other stuff in your pockets, things like that. On the other side, Juice has a cap lifter, bottle opener / can opener. This can opener works a lot better as a bottle opener than the ones I've showed you previously on a couple Leatherman models. It's not as likely to puncture the cap, and it's more accessible because it's on the outside. However, it's not very sharp, so it takes a little more effort to open cans with it. We'll see if we can do a demo of opening a bottle here at the end of the video. Now, underneath that opener, keep in mind you have to have this open for it to close. You have to have this open to close or open the scissors. You have a nice large pair of scissors. These are pretty capable scissors. You can see mine have got a little gummed up from pocket use, so they don't spring open as easily as they used to. However, they still function pretty well. Should be able to cut this 50 cord fairly easily. Kind of gumming on the 550 cord with these. Well, I guess mine have gotten fairly dull over their use, which is funny because I don't use the scissors as much. Ultimately, I'm not a huge fan of scissors on multi-tools. I feel that they're fairly small and not as functional as they could be. Most trimming tasks I feel can be accomplished with the knife blade, or if you need to cut something like paper, you're probably better off with a larger pair because these scissors are laborious to cut through a large sheet of paper with. So make sure you have the bottle opener open when you close the scissors on that because they overlap, as you can see right there. That's one thing that I find a little strange about this particular Juice. I'm not sure if it's true with the rest of the series, but as you can see there, the handles are asymmetrical. One is a little bit thicker than the other. Now, this isn't a problem per se, but it does bother me a little bit. On the plus side, this tool is very nice to carry in pocket. It does feel very solidly made, especially for as small of a tool as it is. However, one thing it does kind of disappoint me is that it has rivets instead of removable fasteners, so there's no way to adjust it. And this scale right here, I don't know if you can see that on camera or hear it, yeah, you can see it moving a little bit there, is actually loose, and there's not really a way to fix that. So, let's open it up and take a look inside. First of all, for its size, these are actually fairly good pliers with a fairly good wire cutter. They come together pretty well. They're not spring-loaded like on some tools, but they still function pretty well. They're nice and thin, so it's easy to get into small places. And they're fairly capable at cutting. I have some 12-gauge automotive primary wire here, and they should be able to cut that without too much difficulty. Yep. Not too much of a problem there. So they do function pretty well. I wouldn't use them for anything as heavy as like the clothes hanger that I demoed on some of the other tools because they are fairly small, and with The size of these pliers, they tend to flex and jam a little bit back and forth if you get into too serious of a prying or twisting situation. So keep in mind this is a compact, small size tool when you're using it, and don't beat it up too bad. So inside the tool, now keep in mind on this tool, the inside blades are not locking. So not really a big issue, just something to keep in mind. This is a really well shaped, looks to be about a number 1 or number 2 Phillips. I like that it's not the flat. It bites a little bit better. However, it's kind of stubby, so it does limit the reach a little bit. Also, you can see inside there's a little lanyard loop, which is pretty difficult to get out. I have to actually pry it out with something, but it's there, so if you wanted to tie something to make this easier to get out of your pocket, you most certainly could. However, this tool is definitely too big to carry on your keys, so I'm pretty sure it would wear out your automotive ignition, and unless you like really bulky things and have a vehicle that you don't mind replacing the lock cylinders on. I don't know if you can see inside there, this has a skeletonized stainless steel frame, which adds to what makes the tool nice and light. But on the other side, and this is one of the things I feel lets this tool down a little bit in my opinion, we have not 1, not 2, but 3 different sized flat blade drivers. Now they're very good flat blade drivers. They're ground neatly. However, this one I put a little too much torque on. You can see it's slightly bent. But I feel like pretty much everything that could be accomplished with these 3 could be accomplished with 1 or 2 of these instead of 3. So I feel like this tool is a little bit let down by the selection there by Leatherman. However, overall this is a very good tool, especially if you want something that's very pocketable and is smaller than something like a Wave or a Charge, but don't want to go with something keychain sized like a Squirt PS4 or a Micra. It's a very good intermediate tool. I carry this one sometimes in dress situations where I can't have my Charge on my belt, or I feel like a pocket clip would be inappropriate sticking out of like a suit or slacks. In that case, this tool serves a very good function. Overall, keep in mind it is a small tool, so you can't beat it up as hard as you could something like a Wave, but it is very well built, as every Leatherman tool that I've ever handled is, and I do recommend it as long as you keep in mind its limitations. Thanks again. This was Carl Belcher. Subscribe for more content, and make sure to like the video and leave me any comments. Thank you.